Welcome. I'm Ada Kay, your deaf courtroom commentator, breaking down the gripping courtroom drama, providing ASL interpretation when possible, while making justice accessible to everyone. Grab your favorite cup of Java and let's dive in. Welcome, everybody. I hope this finds you well. I hope the sound is well. We have been off for a day and it has been a busy weekend. Tonight, we're going to be diving into the Jose I can't say this, Escalera trial. It is the most horrendous of crimes, and we're going to break down the case. But I want to thank everybody for all y'all's support the last couple of days and weeks. We have finally got completely out of the space. The move is done. A little trash that needs to be taken out, but the trash dumpster is full, so we'll do that in the morning. And yes, you see some lovely flowers behind me. I got to go to a wonderful, wonderful appreciation in Bernie, Texas for the Texas Hill Country first responders. And yes, I got to see me a Highlander baby cow. I got to see a Highlander calf. It was so sweet. I was loving on it and it licked my hand. It was so cute. Let me get my pictures up and I'll share screen. Here I am with the baby. Look at the baby. Oh, didn't mean to go that big. Look at the baby Highlander. Isn't that just the sweetest? Yes, it was. And there's a face. It's got little horns barely growing. But oh my gosh, I was sitting there loving on it and it just looked up at me and licked me and just kind of was so cute and happy. Oh, it was awesome. It was so awesome. And this was the cleanest petting zoo thing I've ever seen in my life. They had other animals there, but that's me in my uniform shirt with my hat and braids and being all cowgirled up. I figured if I was going to be out in the country, I might as well look country. But anyway, that was the baby Highlander, and I won a gift card, and I got to get I got to also just had some good food and visited with some people, met some new people, made some contacts. So wonderful experience last night. Got in really late, and then of course we were moving out of the business for the last all day yesterday and then today. So, but I think it's done. The unfortunate thing is my house looks like a hoarder's house. I've got so much stuff crammed. I've got 2,000 square foot of office that we crammed into my 1,200 square foot home. That is already it was comfortable, but it didn't need anything else. So this girl's got a lot of going through and cleaning and organizing. So that's going to be going on for the next few weeks. I'm just trying to get everybody an opportunity to hop in. Welcome, Miss June and Teresa and Deborah for First in Chat one sunny day. Ryan Apple Snapples in the house. Thank you very much. Hilda B, you made it. Yay. Nightbot's here, of course. And then we have Miss Tinka Tood. Hello, everybody. Oh, it is such a blessing to have all of you here. I got my old chair back, as you can see, and well, I got my little back support in it, so Mama's gonna be happier. Mama's gonna be much more comfortable because tomorrow we starting the long days of trial again because we've got a trial first thing in the morning, and it's going to be 7:30 my time. What is it with these East Coast trials? Come on, can we have some West Coast? Yes, I'm drinking coffee. It is decaf. I am drinking some decaf coffee. Want to let all of my Discord peeps know that excuse me, we have been working very diligently in Discord, and we are making some changes in Discord, all for the better. So please be patient. If one day you can't get in, send us a little message because we may be working on it at that moment. Ryan, you're in Arizona. I know I love the West Coast Mountain and West Coast cases because 8 o'clock your time is 9 o'clock my time, or 10 o'clock if you're California. Yes, that would be so nice. That would be. I'd rather go from 9:10 to 6 at night than getting up at 6 in the morning and going in court at 7 and being done early. I don't know. I'm not a morning person. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a deep dive into this case that we're going to start first thing tomorrow morning. And it is one that's kind of the DP or the penalty where one no longer stays alive. And I think I left my glasses somewhere else. Oh, there they are. Authorities have pointed to the DNA, to the identity, partial. Those were horrible. Sorry. DNA, phone records, witness sightings of the truck, deleted phone call datas, and incriminating Google searches that have been found in evidence. Oh, why do I have no sound? Why do I have no sound? Do I have no sound? I'm in live communication. Do I have sound? Okay. So it must be you, Angela. You might want to restart. Oh, good. Don't scare me like that. And what's nice is I now have mods who can run my background in my StreamYard. So if I don't see a message, they can pop it up on the screen and I will see it. Yes. Okay, Angela, sorry. You gave me a heart attack there, boo. Gave me a heart attack. So I want to talk about the timeline and key events. And yes, I am in my comfy. So I hope y'all are comfy. Get comfy. We're going to be here a while. So August 24th of 2018, Tanina Wise, about 8.5 months pregnant, pretty much term. If the baby was born the day that she became unalived, the baby would have survived, as far as most likely. Was found face down in a ditch in St. Louis County, Florida. The autopsy reported a blunt force trauma to the head and other injuries. In late August, early September of 2018, the investigators developed Soto Escalera as a suspect. The DNA later showed he was the father of the unborn child, who was now deceased. Did not survive because, well, his mother was left to die in a ditch, and thus the baby died. Phone records placed him in the area and showed multiple calls to Wise around the time of questioning. Witnesses reported seeing the truck matching his in that area, and the authorities he had been given Wise. Authority states that the Jose had given Tanina money for the removal of the fetus, but she did not use it. September 2018 booking, which happened on 9/21 of 18. Soto-Escalera was arrested and charged with counts of including first-degree redrum of an unborn child. He was booked by the St. Lucie Sheriff's Office. The other charges he was arrested on, of course, was the first-degree redrum of a second. First count was first-degree redrum with a weapon. The second was first-degree redrum of an unborn child. Then the third count was a second-degree redrum with a weapon, homicide, redrum first-degree, premeditated. The fourth count, which is second-degree redrum of an unborn, homicide, injury, mother, unaliving an unborn child, first-degree. Those are his stuff. Thank you so much, Jim. Those are what he is currently charged with. Pretrial or later filings, the prosecutors filed notice that they will seek the DP, alleging aggravated factors, heinous, cruel, and premeditated. The defense has filed motions, Miranda rights challenged, and the change of venue requests reported on local coverage. Jury selection and trial scheduling have been reported in recent trial coverage. So we do have a lot going on with this trial. I'm going to take a quick break on reading my notes and my deep dive. We are going to watch, there's not a lot of video. There's not a lot of information on this trial. So we're going to watch this for a moment, and then we'll get back to the deep dive. And oh, by the way, please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask.
And welcome back to Court TV. Now let's head to our next big trial here at Court TV. We are calling it the Pregnant Mistress Murder Trial. Opening statements are expected to begin on Monday. Defendant Jose Antonio Soto-Escalera is accused of murdering his mistress, 23-year-old Tanya Wise, as well as their unborn child. Soto-Escalera was married to someone else at the time of the murder, and he does face the death penalty in this case. Court TV's Michael Ayala has more on the background.
August 23rd, 2018, a motorist driving down a rural road in St. Lucie County, Florida, makes a horrifying discovery. The body of 23-year-old Tanya Wise lying in a ditch. She was found face down in the weeds with one of her hands still clenched tight. She was also 8.5 months pregnant.
To lose a child, it's just, there's no words for it. And then to lose my grandson too. There's no words for it.
Tanya Wise was just weeks away from giving birth and was already scheduled for a cesarean section. A month after her body was found, police arrested 41-year-old Jose Soto-Escalera.
Today, the final piece of this very complex puzzle has been put in place.
According to court documents, Soto told police that he was married and had 4 children. He also admitted to knowing Tanya Wise, but said there was no chance that he was the father of her unborn baby. However, police were able to make a DNA match and determine that Jose Soto-Escalera was the father of the baby. Investigators say that Soto gave Wise $500 to have an abortion. Well, not only did she not have the abortion, she was threatening to tell his wife about the pregnancy. Jose Soto-Escalera is now charged with the first-degree murder of Tanya Wise and her unborn son, Josiah. If he is convicted, he could be sentenced to death.
So, what will tip the scales of justice in this case? Let's go ahead and bring in family law attorney Jennifer Brandt, and joining us this morning, parenting and family relationship expert, Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Dr. Sue, thanks so much for being with us this morning and joining Jennifer on the panel. Why don't we talk about this case? This is another situation where we're seeing some alleged infidelity and it leads to possibly a murder. I covered a case like this in Texas. He was a Border Patrol agent and he was found guilty. So we see this a lot. Why do you think?
Good morning, ladies. Yeah, I think we see this a lot because in this world today, people like this want everything and they don't want to be found out that they have committed infidelity and give up the life that they've had with their wife and possibly the children that they've have already. So they figure in their crazy mind that the only thing that they can do is discard what is causing them problems. Now, we don't know yet what the facts are of this case completely, but we're living in a world today, Kelly, that's very different than was many years ago. And when people don't want to deal with things, a lot of times in these high conflict relationships, they discard them thinking they can get away with everything and go on and live their life. But unfortunately, most times they do get caught.
Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer, let's bring you in on this. So there's this claim that he gave her some money to have an abortion and she kept the money instead, didn't have the abortion. I mean, Michael Ayala tracked that package for us here, and he says, according to the reports, he was saying, there's no way I could be the father. So you're thinking, okay, maybe he never had any interactions with the woman, but then clearly the DNA match says that he did. So I don't know. What's your take on this one?
Well, I think it's a sense of panic, and we've seen this in many, many cases where it leads to murder. He had 4 children and a wife, and he really did not want his wife to know what he was doing on the side. And having another child in the world would mean potentially more financial obligations for him. His wife finding out, he's probably thinking of the cost of all of this, but what he's not thinking about is that where he is now. I mean, sitting at trial, potentially facing death row for an act that was so senseless to kill this woman. I mean, so I do think it's a sense of panic we see in these cases. They don't want their spouse to find out, but it's a real misguided thought, when they think that killing someone is better than potentially facing divorce and the financial obligations that go along with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always crazy.
I mean, we just see these cases again and again. It is crazy.
Yeah. Dr. Sue, so let's talk about it when, in the court system, how do jurors look at situations where there's infidelity?
So I think jurors look at it as if there is infidelity, that there is a possibility that because of that, it could lead to murder. So because of that, I think they're going to have a good idea here in their minds that what possibly took place here. They're not going to be fond of somebody that has committed infidelity. I mean, most people are not. So I think that has a very big influence on the way that they're going to go here. She's also a very pretty young woman. And I think the key factor here is, when we're talking about this, is that he denied that he was having sexual relationships with her, but obviously he wasn't because his DNA matched the baby's. So right then and there, I think the jury is going to see right through this mess, Kelly.
Yeah, obviously was having interactions with her. I mean, I don't know, men sometimes. But Jennifer, let's talk about a possible defense. Her body was found in a ditch. We don't have a lot of time yet, but what could be a possible defense? I mean, this isn't the right guy.
yeah, someone else did it. Someone else was, had a grudge against her or but I mean, the lies and the Google searches, I mean, there's a lot of evidence against him. So I don't know. Maybe he could say that he panicked and got into an argument with her and, try to reduce the charges. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see exactly what happens here. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. Ladies, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Well, yes, you have a great weekend too, my dear. You have a great weekend too, my dear. Um, is the sound better? I don't know. Someone let me know if my sound is off. June, I left you a note in private chat and let me know how my sound is. I don't want to continue having a sound problem. So if there's a problem with sound, please, please, please let me know, June. Thank you very much. So the main players in this, and once again, there's not a lot of information on a lot of these people, but the defendant is Jose Antonio Soto-Escalera. Date of birth was, let me see, where is it? October 12th of 76. That is his date of birth. The victim, Tanina Wise, 23 at the time of her unaliving or her death. Her unborn son, named by family. Coverage often, well, first of all, we're not going to be taught, we're going to try not to say the name of the baby. I don't think so. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I apologize. The local law enforcement, St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office, preliminary investigators in the agency are announced that the arrests and evidence and the details, their press release and social posts, all are going to be essential to the part of trial. And I forgot to pop out my chats. That would make things a little easier for me, guys, to follow you. My apologies. There we go. Yay! Yay! All right, that works. That does work. Thank you so much. Wonderful. All right. So the prosecution, the state's attorney's office for the circuit is handling the St. Louis County. This particular office is filed and are filing for the DP. Just so if you didn't know what that meant, notice, and it will present the aggravating factors in court. So we're going to be looking for those filings, and we will be seeing all of that in trial starting tomorrow with opening statements. Defense's counsel, the court docket entries show that defense's representation and filings. I think he's had a change. If my memory serves me correct, he has had a change in counsel. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. The key witnesses in this case are friends and co-workers of the victim who reported the payment to unalive the child while in utero and the allegations she gave the money to another person. Witnesses who said that they saw the truck. Witness who also reported that Jose previously moved from Connecticut and had been accused of a 1993 lead shooting, but the statute of limitation issues have caused a problem in prosecuting that case. Evidence in the prosecution has we've got some highlights in there, and in those we have the DNA is confirming paternity of the child. So he is legitimately the father of the child. I wonder who the father of the child she had already alive. She already had a son. This was her second child. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he was the father of the second child. We'll find out in court. There are telephone records and call history showing multiple calls between Soto and Wise on the day and nights before she was found and leading up to her unaliving. The prosecutors are also pointed to the deleted text calls and deleted phones, um, windows, or whatever you call them, as very suspicious. The digital search history, which is going to be, I think, a game changer in this, is reportedly containing searches like um, unalive body in woods or wooded area with a unaliving body, accessed shortly or around the time that the body was discovered on the phone of the defendant. Prosecution has cited that this is a consciousness of guilt evidence investigated summary. So we'll see how they played this. That is going to be an interesting physical witnesses who say they saw a truck matching the defendant's near where the body was found and observed kind of like an observation, like a wash truck, missing steering wheel cover, black glove, coded note by an eyewitness. So we'll see more about what that has to be and how that comes into play. The autopsy and forensic files, of course, it shows that there was blunt force trauma, detail consistent with the violent unaliving. Medical examiner findings are often summarized in local reporting. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Oh, someone's honking outside. Someone is honking. Somebody not happy. Come on, it's a Sunday night. Everybody should be happy. So that's kind of a very vague, and once again, we don't have a lot of information on this case. It is it's not a very talked about case. It doesn't have a whole lot of information. So we'll see. But what we do have is the defense's theme and what we might expect from the defense after my piling over the documents. By the way, I want to thank all my document fairies, which are my mods. You've done a fabulous job, and I will be reading through a lot of those documents tonight after I get my homework done. I still got homework to do. The defense themes you should expect are, or possibly may come up, are the challenging to the statements in the search. The defense have already filed a Miranda-related motion. Expect challenges to how the evidence was obtained, phone search, whether the deletions were properly preserved, and warrant issues. Yeah, there was a lot of questions about his Miranda rights. We got another Miranda right case going, y'all. We sure do. The alibis. The defense may contest that the witness identification of the truck, content, timing, location, and the purpose of the alternative theories. Settle prior incidents versus admissibility. Reports refer to an alleged 1993 Connecticut shooting. Defense will likely fight and attempt to introduce the defense will likely fight the attempts by the prosecution to introduce remote prior acts or character evidence. We'll see if they win that. Criminal charges, including first-degree redrum counter regarding the unalive penalty of unaliving of a new unborn child. As reported, the state has given notice it will seek the DP for aggravated circumstances, elevates the pretrial litigations quite a bit. Motions already been filed. The defense has filed a Miranda suppression and a change of venue requests, which were denied. Expect extensive voir dires and fights over publicity and pretrial publicity remedies. So we will have the sheriff's affidavit and booking records that will contain the factual narratives of the state intended to prove So they will walk through the forensic timeline, the prosecution, and will present the phone call searches, the witness sightings, the body, and the arrests. And they will try to link them all together. They will scrutinize the digital forensic, deleted text calls, Google searches, etc. Would preserve the data, that whether it was preserved properly or not, what warrants were used, what multi-data I can't say that word, authenticated. Whew. In other words, how did they authenticate the metadata? I got it that way. I can do it in many ways. They will vet the witness statements and see the person who saw the truck. What did they observe? Were they independent collaborating records? Were they surveillance, license plate captures, cell phone towers will all come into play on this. So, here are some of the most what we call load-bearing facts in this case. Soto-Escalera is charged with first-degree redrum in the unaliving or the death of Tanina Wise and their unborn child. Prosecutors have given notice that they will seek the DP, citing aggravated factors. DNA testing confirms that Soto-Escalera was the father of the child, unborn child, and that is part of the motive. Investigator report phone calls, witness sightings, and truck matching Soto-Escalera vehicle, and he had Google searches. Come on. All right, guys, when you commit a crime, when you're going to commit a crime, why on God's green earth would you sit there and do a freaking Google search, which you know can be traced? If you don't know it now. Hear me now. Can and will be traced. So let's talk about the victim. We don't have a lot, but we have a little bit. Her full name is Tanina Esther Wise. She was born December 12th of 94, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Found deceased on August 24th of 18 on the roadside ditch, 23 years old, and she is buried in a Rolling Oak Cemetery, Port St. Louis, Florida. Her parents, Ricky and Wise and Elizabeth Santiago, who the obituary lists her father as Ricky Wise, also says Reyes Bedola. There may be some complexity. I don't understand that. There may be some. She has a son, Blank Wise, who was about 8 years old at the time of her death, so probably not this guy's child. She was, like I said, 8.5 months pregnant with the little boy, and a name was given. Siblings and extended family, she has at least 2 brothers and 1 sister, many aunts, uncles, grandparents, and maternal family. Tanina was known by her friends and her family as a loving mother, especially devoted to her son. Her obituary and local articles emphasized. She apparently lived in, like I said, we know she lived in Florida, and her death was shocking to her social circle, who described her as someone who would put her family first always. And she did always put her son first, honest and caring. She was last seen alive, leaving her home in Port St. Lucie on Thursday night in the day before August 24th. So Thursday night, the 23rd, I believe, of 2018. Her body was found on August 24th, face down in a ditch along Rosso and Johnson's Road in a more isolated stretch of the northwestern St. Louis County. The medical examiner found blunt injury, trauma to the back of her head, and injury to her throat. Not quite sure a whole lot about her social and her working environment. We will probably learn some of that out in trial. So we've had a few key documents that have come into this case. Number 1, we had notice of intent to seek the death penalty, January of 2019. The prosecutors filed the notice that they would pursue the death penalty against Soto-Escalera, citing aggravated factors such as the crime scene was especially heinous, atrocious, cruel, and it was cold, calculated, and premeditated. The Miranda rights motion to suppress around the same time in 2019. The defense filed a motion claiming that Soto-Escalera's Miranda rights were violated. They asked for a change of venue on the defense side. In earlier 2019, the defense requested the venue to be changed, arguing pretrial publicity, such as local news coverage and other trials, to be example. I don't know that case. I'm not going to say it here. Anyway, there were several cases at the time they were bundling him up with in the reportings, and they're not happy about it. We had an attorney withdrawal from the appointment, and then they appointed special counsel. There was a hearing where Soto-Escalera's then attorney was withdrawing. A new attorney experienced in the DP case was then appointed. Okay, that is not uncommon. If you have an attorney that does not normally do DP cases, sometimes they will pull back and allow a more DP experienced attorney come in and take the case. Jury selection and pretrial motions and hearings. The jury has also, they've been selected, and we start tomorrow morning. Just FYI, I do believe a judge also was seated on this case because he too was not in a position to handle a DP trial for whatever reasons. There are some court documents and decisions that have not really heavily been reported on or not totally public yet, but there's search warrant affidavits and orders, forensic reports, and expert witness motions that have gone down, pretrial rulings and evidentiary issues, rulings on whether prior bad acts and character evidence, if any, is admissible, ruling on whether the witness's hearsay is excluded, ruling of relevancy. That's going to be pretty much where we stand on this trial. What case law is there for DP on an unborn child? Depends on where you live. I think the unborn child makes this, it elevates it. That's the aggravating factor. That she was 8.5 months pregnant. The baby could have survived outside the womb, which I'm not going to get in that debate. But we will find out more tomorrow on that particular case and on that, because I don't know. I don't know, y'all. No, only, 7 of you like to have shared. Yay! Y'all are so awesome. So do y'all have any questions? That is tomorrow's case, y'all, in a nutshell. Let me go back. I haven't been able to see everybody that's hopped in. I want to thank everybody that's hopped in again. Joe Schmo was in the house. And we also had Christine was in the house. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you so very, very much. So, any questions? I know I just rambled off and read a lot to you. There's not a bunch of information on this case. I do believe, though, that this case is going to come down to a lot of, why can you not hear me, Ryan? Miss June, can you hear me? Ryan cannot hear me for some reason, and I haven't done anything. I haven't moved. My light thing is going up and down. I will be getting a new Rodecaster Pro 2. They are replacing my Rodecaster because it's been really glitchy and not happy. And even though it's slightly out of warranty, Rodecaster is so amazing that they are going to go ahead and replace it. So I'm waiting for it to arrive. I cannot wait for my new Rodecaster to arrive so I can hopefully everything be stable. Hopefully everything will be a little more clear and stable. I'm looking for more information and see if I have it. I don't think I have any more information on this case. You know, it's really sad when somebody unalives the woman carrying their child. As you know, if you wouldn't play outside of your yard, then you don't have to worry about getting caught. Stay in your own playground, sir, and you wouldn't get in trouble. I know, isn't it? Let me look. I'm looking up that question. Are you wanting to know case law, Deborah, Brooklyn in Florida? Is that in Florida? So I'll look that up. I'm looking that up. Yes. Okay, here's a summary of the Florida state law that says about the homicide of a pregnant woman and an unborn child and whether or not the DP may apply. Florida statute 782.09, the unliving of an unborn child by the injury to the mother. The unlawful killing of an unborn child by injury to the mother, such that the child which would be redrum if it resulted in the death of its mother, shall be deemed redrum in the same degree as which would have been committed against the mother. Means that the act of unaliving the mother would qualify as first degree redrum, capital felony, if the mother passed. Then the unaliving of the child, the unborn child, by that same act also is treated the same. The Florida also has definitions for what counts as unborn. We're not going to go, this goes really deep, but let's get to the DP possibility. Because of 782.09 allows an action that unalives an unborn child, along with the mother, to be deemed redrum of the same degree as if it had been the mother alone, if the mother's unaliving qualifies as a capital redrum, first degree redrum under Florida law. Then it is possible under the statute to treat the unborn child's death as a part of the capital redrum. So, in theory, yes, one could seek the DP under Florida law when someone unalives a mother of an unborn child if all elements of capital first degree redrum are met. However, I don't have an actual case site to give you. It is going to be interesting. Yeah. Yep. He's now a teenager. So he was 8 at the time, and this happened in 2019, right? Yeah. I feel for the child, and he's had to grow up without his mother, and it's horrible. I don't understand why the people have to go to those. I don't understand why people have to go to those extremes. I don't. I have no idea. I am looking for a file. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, I don't think I have what I'm looking for. Oh, well, that's okay. I love it when someone says, you do not qualify for a claim in this massive lawsuit. I don't know. I didn't file for a claim. Oh my gosh. Yay. So hopefully, we will. I'm hoping to get my hearing aids done. I'm in limbo right now. We are also trying to get me new hearing aids. Ooh, that would be awesome. I need them. Hi, Miss Amy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for liking. You may have to go back and do the rewatch to catch all the information. Um, So we will look forward to doing this. So this was not going to be a long live, guys. I am so physically tired right now. I am beyond exhausted. For those of you who know, for the last week, we have been painstakingly moving out of a 2,000 square foot office space. We finally got all of the little stuff. I mean, it felt like the last day was worse than the whole week. My house looks like a hoarder's house. We have so much stuff in here. So I got to start going through that, but I am done. But I am sore and tired. So I'm going to try to go to bed at a decent hour, not 2, 3 in the morning, because we're going to be live at 7:30 in the morning, 7:45, depends on when court starts tomorrow morning, in order for us to be prepared and awake for trial. That is Central Standard Time. We're done. There's some trash that we need to throw away, but the problem is the dumpster that we're supposed to use is full. We're hoping they empty it tomorrow, and then we can dump all the trash in there and we'll be out. Worst case scenario, the landlord can dump it, because it's his dumpster. He doesn't, we have to be out by tomorrow midnight to legally. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. 2018, that's when the trial happened. That's right. Thank you so much for that. So we're going to start doing this trial. We will not, we don't know if we'll do a bingo on this trial. We usually kind of don't do bingos, but we'll see. We'll see how everybody thinks. Please come in tomorrow morning whenever you can. I know some people can't be there right away, and join us and share the live, like the live. I haven't confirmed with my mod yet, but I'm interested in doing a movie tonight. We do a lot of movies. Depending on what you want to watch, I'm thinking maybe something more modern. We've done a lot of oldie but goodies. Anybody want to watch a movie with us? Give us a suggestion. Well, good to see you too, Miss Debbie, or Deborah, excuse me. My mother's name was Deborah, and everybody called her Debbie, and she hated it. And I don't know why I did that. My apologies. Your name is Deborah. Forgive me. We'll just chalk it up to being tired. How about that? But I had a great night last night petting the Highlander baby cow. For those who were not here earlier, I'll throw up the image again of me petting the baby Highlander. It was so cute, y'all. It was so cute. I absolutely adored this little baby cow. I tell you, I'm not one. If I had land, I would have baby Highlanders. I would have Highlanders if I had land. Only if I had land. June, let's try to find it. What kind of movie do y'all want to watch? Have we seen the movie Yesterday? I've never heard of the movie Yesterday. Let me look up the movie Yesterday. See what it is. If you give us a movie and we choose it, are you going to watch it? It's a 2019 romantic comedy drama directed by Danny Boyle. The story follows Jack, a struggling musician who, after a mysterious global breakout, finds herself the only person on earth who remembers the Beatles. He becomes an overnight sensation by performing their song as his own, but must grapple with the consequences and the love of his best friend Ellie. That's interesting. This was so cute. My little mood. And you can barely see the little horns popping in here. She got little horns. And I was just scratching and loving her. She was so clean. I was loving all over her, and she was just sitting there doing that, and all of a sudden she turned and licked me, and she just went, ah. It was so cute. It was so cute. Ah, she felt so good. As you can see the smile on my face, I'm happy to be there. That was a highlight of my night. Although I won a gift card to the grocery store, a $50 gift card to the grocery store. I got a gift card to $25 Whataburger gift card. So that was fun. Had good food, visited with some people. Yes, I love the Highlanders. Oh, this is so cute. But we'll look and see what kind of movie we're going to play tonight. Are hers the miniatures? I definitely want the miniatures. I don't know. I love big cows too. So June and I we'll pick a movie. Y'all come. We have a few of y'all go ahead and share and like, because I'll do the drawing now. I'm going to do the drawing. But that was fun. I could so have a Highlander. I could so have a cow. Yeah, it was so cute. I have to say, it was so cute. I told him I have a channel, and our mascot, it's a Highlander, and we have two stuffed Highlanders. They're packed right now, but one's Hamish, one is Heidi, and they love the names Heidi and Hamish. She said that the next girl and boy born, they're going to call them Heidi and Hamish. And I was like, oh, I was like, yay. And they were so much fun. Okay, let's go ahead and do the drawing for tonight. Woohoo! Congrats, June. I'll draw another one. No, Nightbot. I'll give it to you. Yes, we are done. The congratulations, Hilda B. Congratulations, June and Amy. Amy, you got an entry. No. If it hits on the Nightbot, you get an entry. So, Amy, you have an entry, my dear. Congratulations, love. Amy has an entry. Yes, she does. Yep, she does. I'll make sure you get an entry, Amy, because Nightbot is not allowed to win any of this stuff. Nightbot cannot win. Nightbot cannot win. Okay, y'all. Thank you guys so much for joining. I have about 4 hours of homework, and I kid you not. So Miss June will do a movie tonight. If y'all go to our Discord, we do have on live chats. It says voice channels. We have something called movie night. And we will have a movie in a little bit. Probably we'll just say about 8:15, maybe. June, is that okay? We'll start a movie, and y'all come join us. It's fun. We enjoy having movies with everybody. Thank you guys again for joining. Thank you so much. We will see y'all here first thing tomorrow morning at 7:30. Sleep. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I hope you have an awesome day. Till next time, take care.